So let's get going with it.
What are we
So
doing today?
we're going to do Mishaberach and Adon Olam today. So we'll start with the Mishaberach, because that I think will be a little quicker. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. I don't know if I can make it any bigger.
Can
Oh.
we print, is there a way to print that out so we have it?
I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
And when you print it, because it's white on black, you may want to try and copy. I'll try and see if I could copy and paste it into a Word document so
That
that
would be-
it's black on white. So you're not wasting so much ink when you print it.
That would be great.
So I will try that.
Thank you.
So this is written in a different font than you're used to seeing, but yet the letters are still the same letters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just going to go right into it. I'm going to start reading and then I'm going to call on you to do it. So there's we'll do 3 words and 3 words and 3 words and 3 words. And then there's English in between. Then we'll sing it and we'll get that. And I have a great link for you to the story behind the Mishaberach and how this is Debbie Friedman wrote this and how Debbie Friedman wrote this and all of that. And then in that article, there's a link to 3 different recordings. Debbie Friedman, Craig Taubman, and someone else, can't remember, but they're 3 different melodies, just so you have an idea. But the Debbie Friedman melody, I think, is what everybody uses at shul. So, okay. So we're going to start. Mi shebeirach avotenu. Barbara?
Mi shaberach avotenu.
Mekor habracha leimotenu. Jamie.
Mekor habracha la'imotenu.
Perfect. Mi sheberach imotenu. Judy.
Mi sheberach imotenu.
Mekor habracha la'avotenu. Barbara.
Mikor habaracha la'abotenu.
There you go. So, and this happens to have the transliteration there if you need it, but we'll try and read it in the Hebrew. But sing it along with me if you know it. We're going to sing this Hebrew line, and then we're going to sing this English. Then we're going to sing this Hebrew line, and we're going to sing this English. Okay.
Okay.
Mi shebeirach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
What is refuah shlema?
Means refuah means treatment. Shlema means whole. So it's really like refuah shlema is to have a full healing.
This is the Debbie Friedman's tune, right?
That's the Debbie Friedman tune.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure the recording will be so much better than our rendition.
Oh, I like
You know,
ours.
I thought we were terrific.
I
I
thought
think
so.
So
So,
Lymor, will you just read it through in Hebrew, just the
Yeah.
Hebrew again?
sure. Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha laavotenu. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this and we'll go on to Adon Olam. That article will have a really good, sorry, my eyes are so itchy today. We'll have a very good explanation and that sort of thing. So, all right, now I gotta find my trick of how there we go. All right. Now, Adon Olam has oh so many tunes because it's one of these poems that, because it's two lines, and it's an even number of lines, it's easy to come up with a tune that you sing, you know, either one line one way, one line another way, or two lines one way, two lines another way. And so it lends itself like beat wise to lots of different melodies. So all right. Adon Olam Asher Malach. Barbara was the last to read. So Jamie.
Adon Olam Asher Malach.
Beterem Kol Yetzir Nivra. Marcy.
B'terem kol Yitzir Nivra.
Le'et Naasa Bechefso Kol. Judy.
Ba'et, ba'atsa, ba'hafzor, kol.
Yep. This here's a nun
Oh, so.
versus a bet, right?
Okay, so na'atsa,
Yep.
ba'hal,
Che,
ba'hef,
So
zo, kol.
perfect. Azai Melech Shemo Nikra. Barbara.
Etza,
Azai
Adza, Melech, Shemo, Nikora.
Perfect. Ve'achare Kichlot Hakol. Jamie.
Va'achare Kichlot Hakol.
Levado Yimloch Nora. Marcy.
Levado Yimloch Nora.
Vehu Haya Vehu Hove. Judy.
Vehu haya, vehu horech,
Hove.
hovech.
Vehu Yihiya Betif Ara. Barbara.
Behu, Ye Chaya, Aye, Batif Ara.
Perfect. Vehu Echad Ve'ain Sheni. Jamie.
Vehu Echad Ve'id
Ain.
Ve'ed Sheni.
Right? That's a nun Sophie. So Ain. Okay. Leham shil lo lehachbira, Marcy.
Laham shilo lahachbira.
Okay, I'm gonna move it down a little bit here. Beli reshit, beli tachlit, Judy.
Beli rashit. Beli hakolit.
Tach,
Taco. Takalat.
two
Takalit.
syllables. Tach
Ha.
lit.
Feet. Ha.
Sure.
Feet.
You got it. Velo haoz veha misra. Barbara.
Velo ha'od.
That's a Zion, so that's
Oh.
the as opposed to the
Right.
Dalid, which I'm looking for on the
Yeah.
page. Here's the Dalid.
Ha'od, hazon,
Haoz
ha'oz. The hamishra,
hamisra.
hamisra.
Okay. Vehu Eli vechai go ali, Jamie.
Behu Eli Vechai Goali.
Vetsur chevli be'et sarah, Marcy.
Bitsur chevli be'et Sarah.
Vehu nisi umanos li, Judy.
The who not sa
Nisi
nisi humanos li.
me not hosi beyom ek ra, Barbara.
Manat ba'osi bayom ek ek ra.
Perfect. This is the kaf that says ka,
Yeah,
and this is the bet that says ba. Very, very similar. One has a little tail on the end, the other doesn't.
Can
right.
you repeat that line again?
Menat kosi beyom ekra.
Ekra.
Okay. Beyado afkid ruchi, Marcy.
Beyado afkid ruchi.
Be'et ishan ve'aira. Who's next? Judy.
Oh, that's me. Could you do it one more time, please?
Yes. Be'et ishan ve'aira.
Beat Ishan Reat Si no the Reat E
Ve.
Veatsi.
This is an ayin
So it's E,
versus I don't
right?
see a
So
tzadik on it.
isn't
Here's the
it
tzadik. Here's the tzadik.
Veat E? Yeah, Ra.
Right? Ve-a-i-ra. When you have the aleph, it makes no sound. It's just the vowel. When you have the ayin, it makes no sound, just the vowel. So this is
Yeah, A E
ve-a-i-ra.
Ra. Ve'ai Ra.
Yes. Ve'im ruchi geviyati, Marcy.
Be'im ruchi gaviyati.
Adonai li velo ira, Jamie.
Adonai Li Velo Ira.
Perfect. All right. Let me, so I would say, I don't know if I would call it fun, but a cool thing to do if you wanted to practice this, right? I'm going to send you the link from the woman who does, the woman that I've been sending you, she does the different services. But I'll also send you a link to 1 or 2 very fun tunes to it, to try and follow along with those tunes too. So there's like a Hamilton one, and so I'll send those to you too. But if you just wanted to look at, like, literally Google Adono Lam on YouTube, you would find like hundreds of them.
Right.
And so that might be a fun way to learn this one if you want to try and learn this one. Unfortunately, Marcy, they don't have that with Ashray. I don't know if you find hundreds of Ashrays, but Marcy, that might be actually a good idea if you wanted to do that. Like, go onto YouTube and type Ashray and see what comes up. I mean, I can't guarantee what's going to come up in the Google link.
They're all gonna be fast though.
But it's going to be a recording of a class doing it, or a cantor doing it at a bar mitzvah, or a kid doing it at a bar mitzvah, or something like that. And at least you'll have different ways of doing that. And I don't know if your synagogue like has recordings, right? But if they have a recording of Friday night or Saturday morning, then you might be able to follow along with everything.
I don't think they
so
do. but
Just
I'll just keep going to services.
right.
'Cause I've done
I just want to say one thing that I've noticed in this class, that Marcy has improved so much that
Thank you.
I feel inspired. It's just really a wonder to follow Marcy's improvement.
Well, thank you. I'm really trying. I really am.
Well, it's
practicing,
visible.
and it's funny, the people I sit next to in services, they have noticed too. So at least my finger's moving faster. I appreciate that.
Jamie just sent in the chat a learner's version.
Yeah, I typed
that
in
of Ashray?
Ashray, how to learn it slowly, and
There you go.
Oh,
learner's
really?
version.
Okay, how do we capture that?
So if you go to, you know what I will do, I will copy it and I will put it in.
I haven't vetted it, but I
In the
really
clip,
quickly
right.
did it. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much. And it's from a temple. So I'm like, oh, I like learner's version rather than.
Right. I'm copying and pasting it. Hold on, my Word has to open. I'm going to copy and paste it. And I'll put it in our class recap notes
Oh, great.
so that you have
Good.
it.
Good.
And like
thank
we
you.
said, and I'll even put a disclaimer in there that we haven't vetted it.
No, not
We
vetted.
don't know.
But you can Google
I do.
learner's version.
I do have a question. Just, I don't know why, but for some reason last week on my notifications on my phone, it was popping up all the different women's league classes, like to live. So I just, for the heck of it, I had some free time and I listened to a couple of the classes, and I noticed that they have like different handouts. Is there a way for us to like download those handouts if we're not in that class? Because some of them were good practice things, and
I mean, I would contact the teacher and ask them to send it to you, and you can even copy me and say, I'm part of Lymor's class, blah, 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 blah.
okay.
I mean, the teachers are, I'm, I'm friendly with most of I know most of the teachers, I'm friendly with most of them. So,
I mean, I was doing it with the computer screen, which is fine.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to, I'm keeping a notebook. It'd be nice to put them in there.
right. Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing I'll say, I'll give a little plug for Women's League here. There, if you all get Women's League Week, right? Which is
Right, yeah.
Okay. So there's all kinds of classes in there, all kinds of lectures in there you can listen to. It is whatever you're interested in, there's something for everyone,
That's for sure. Yeah.
So, there's a book club, there's something called Mishpacha, which right now they're concentrating on educating everybody on LGBTQ type language, and how to use it, and what how to call somebody up at the Torah and synagogue if they are wanting to go by by they them and that sort of thing. So that's interesting. There's environmental committee. That's my committee. We do a lot of we have a lot of great programs on there, and we're doing a program called Reverse Tashlich in September. So if you're involved in your synagogue and they are not doing it, then make sure you get involved and make sure you bring it to your synagogue. And if you have any questions, you let me know. It's basically like a river or a beach cleanup to pull our sins out of the water, right? Pull man's sins out of the water, where tashlich is where we take our sins for the year and we throw it into the water. So this is a reverse. So that's something big we're working on now. And there is, gosh, what else has been going on? There's so much going on. There's also 3 days a week. There is it's called Makom B'Yachad, like a place to be together. And it started out when we first shut down for the pandemic for people that wanted to say Kaddish and didn't have a way to say Kaddish. And so we would get on Zoom 6 days a week. It was right when my dad died. Get on Zoom 6 days a week and say a psalm and then say Kaddish. And it turned into where we then were like, okay, well, let's study these psalms. We studied all the psalms, all 130 psalms and what they mean and all of that. And so there's 2 rabbis on there that female rabbis that teach on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. They go back and forth teaching different Talmuds. One rabbi's teaching one and one's teaching the other, and they just go back and forth teaching it in a way that we could kind of understand it today in 2023, which is really nice. And before they teach, we do the psalm of the day. We say a prayer for Ukraine and a Mishaberach, and then say Kaddish. And then before that, a bunch of women get on a little bit earlier. They're friendly, and they talk about what's going on in their lives and that sort of thing. And it's kind of nice for one woman lost her husband in the pandemic, and so she's lonely, and this was a nice way for her to get on and and be with people. And it's turned into a really, really nice thing. And then every Friday, so this is on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and on Fridays it's same thing, but someone from the community teaches about Parshat HaShavua. So I've taught everybody, not everybody, but I would say out of the 45 women we get on there, I would say 20 of them have all taught. And they encourage people to do that too. It's a nice little thing. If you have time in your day, it's East Coast time, noon to 12:30, and they really keep to that time. They don't try to take you off that time. So that's kind of nice as well. If you're looking just for a little more of an outlet or that sort of thing, or a little bit more studying at your pace, because they go really slow, and they don't make you feel inferior if you don't know the Hebrew, if you're not religious and don't follow customs and things like that. So I like that a lot.
I think this whole thing is, I like the camaraderie. I like that, we meet at 1:30 on Fridays, and we did the Hebrew, but it's also evolved into, people know one another. And I think the Women's League does a lot of really nice things. And I like reading their newsletter and seeing what's happening.
Yeah. And like I said, if you start going on the programs, you get to know the people around the country, and you're like, oh, and you develop friendships with people that are in boxes, And I was in Chicago a couple of months ago, and so I wanted to meet up with one of the women, and we met up, and I thought, wow, she's so skinny. Like, I never saw what she looked like from the waist down.
Well,
But
the
for
camera
some
adds
reason,
10
in
pounds.
my mind, she was not skinny. And it was just very funny. And I too am like not skinny from the waist down. So I just projected myself onto someone else. So I just thought that was funny.
What does your shul do for Shavuot? Do you do
So
any?
my shul does, they do services and dinner, and then they do teachings all night long. They have different, so we're in Teaneck. We have a lot of the members of our synagogue are ordained rabbis and or professors at JTS. So we're very lucky to have lots and lots of people to be able to teach. And so they teach all night long, and then they daven at 5 a.m, and they do a full, they do like a little continental breakfast, and everybody goes home. I don't think I've done that.
We do a community-wide, it's very large, community-wide, starts at like 6 p.m, goes all the way to sunrise. The next morning, classes and breaks for various buffets and various services, and same thing. There's a lot of teachers, between the universities and the,
Right.
in Cleveland and they have a wedding in the about 1 a.m. They do not a real, the bride and groom. I don't know what the word is for with it's a fake wedding.
The Chatan and Kala.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
And I've made it to that. I've never made it to the sunrise yet. We'll see if I can do it.
Yeah.
Here.
Pre-children, I went every year. And then
Wow.
once I had children, that just wasn't happening. And when my youngest was 5, there was a girl in his class who they had a house on Fire Island. And she was like, well, do you want to come to Fire Island for this long weekend? It was like this, where it was Shavuos and Memorial Day and whatever. I was like, yeah. And so we went, and we went to the synagogue on Fire Island. It was kind of like very Orthodox, very whatever. And I said to my husband, like, we need to do this, we need to go on vacation for Shavuot. So we started with a bunch of 10 other couples. And we went to like the Boy Scout camp in the area, and we did our own services. We did our own study session at night. The kids stayed up all night long, playing games and doing stuff. And it was so much fun that we did it, and we expanded. And I think now they have 85 people that go, 85 families that go on this thing.
Wow.
And we bowed out a couple of years ago. When, was just not feasible. The kids, like Maya, had already gone away to school and whatever. So it wasn't feasible for us to do it anymore. But yeah, this year they have like the record, I want to say 85 to 100 families. They're like booming. Like they're next year, they're going to have to find a different camp to do it out. Like they take over one of the Jewish camps.
That's cool.
So that's always fun.
Now we have class next Thursday because it's before Shavuot.
No Friday, because it is Shavuot. Shavuot starts
it's
Thursday
Friday,
night.
right.
So yeah, so no class next Friday, but then I think we have a couple more classes into June. And then we can decide if we want to meet over the summer or if we want to wait till the fall or whatever we want to, depending on everybody's schedule and what you want to do.
Yeah, I think you said we were gonna go to the 22nd, 23rd, yeah.
Yep, I have scheduled to the 23rd, so we can certainly do that. My plan is, and this can change based on what you want to do, like I've been saying, to next time do Vishamru and Lecha Dodi. So Vishamru is both said during the service Friday night, as well as at the lunch table Saturday before you do Kiddush, you do Vishamru. So I thought it was something nice to do. And Lecha Dodi is the last, one of the last Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat before Mariv. So I thought we would do that. And then what do I have on tap? The next week, the only thing I have is I have here Lechuna Ranana, which is another Psalm from Friday night. But I want you guys to look at Friday night and pick out some more Psalms that you might want to do. We can kind of go, we can actually, let's do that right now. Let's look through we have some time. So let's look through this Siddur together and find, let me share my screen. Here it is. Okay. So how do I go next page? I think this way. All right, so the first Psalm that we say is Yedid Nefesh. I think we'll definitely do that because it's a nice one. Lechuna Ranana, that's the one I was talking about. And some of these you only say the first few lines, so we can learn a few of them in one night. Shir Ladonai.
Why don't you send out a not an itinerary, but a schedule?
I think we'll just go through. I think we'll just go from the beginning and go through them. And because most of them, you're saying the first, the first couple of lines and the last couple of lines, I think we could do a lion's share of them in 2.5, 3 weeks. So
what page are you starting at?
this is going to be in Lev Shalem. it's right at the beginning. Because they start with Friday night, page 10.
Okay,
And it's going through page, now I'm giving you guys a little. And this is Mariv. That's Mariv. It's almost here. We're almost there. Through page 29. So 10 to 29.
Okay.
So I think we can cover those in the 3 weeks that we have. Since we'll be doing Lecha Dodi, that's probably the biggest part of it. And maybe we'll start in the back and go backwards like I like to do in that way again, because sometimes we're never really on time. So. All right. Any questions, anything else? Okay,
no,
so I'll send out the class recap and I'll put in links to a couple of different things. And the recording should be up on Monday. What else? And that's that.
Okay.
All right.
Great, thank you.
Great,
All
Shabbat
right.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Good
Have a
one.
great Memorial Day weekend and a great Shavuot.
You
You
too.
as well.
too.
Thank you.
Chag Sameach.